So it's really a pleasure to kind of chat with Raven Mitchell. I was kidding Raven about her various hats and responsibilities being a mother and teaching at Hill House and involved with labor issues and just kind of making it a better world for our young people. Raven, you've been teaching at Hill House for how long again?
This will be my 15th year.
Cut it out. 15 at the house?
Yes.
Cut it out. So you get like a brand for every year. Do you have all these? You have brands on the HH brand
No,
on
but
your
we at
arm.
least got like some really cool shirts this year with our year that we started and
Uh-huh.
from our department. So that was a nice
Good
little.
for you. Good for you. Who was the we'll talk about this upcoming event, but who was when you first started? Was before in terms of the principal before Lonnie Garrison, right? Where you
So no,
started.
I was lucky enough to get hired under Dr. Garris, uh, him, even Miss Althea Norcott, uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Tom Fleming, all the
Mm-hmm.
schools. So they were here when I was hired. I sat down in front of all of them in like a really intimidating interview. So,
Uh-huh.
but I'm grateful for that, their experience, their years of experience. Especially,
Who gave you the hardest time during that interview that you recall?
uh, well, the hardest time my whole first year was Miss Althea Norcott, but I
Uh-huh.
I definitely learned a lot from her. So
Mm-hmm.
it was difficult, but it was definitely necessary.
Excellent, excellent. That's a good segue to we're holding an event on what date again, Raven?
December 23rd, which is a Saturday,
And
between
that go ahead.
12 and 3 p.m.
And the title.
Holiday at the house.
And we're going to talk more about what's involved there, and everyone's invited. It's a free event. But just when you mentioned Dr. Garris and Althea and Tommy Fleming, just in terms of uh, the extensive Hill House alumni legacy. So I mean, this event is certainly for young people, but it's for the community and for all you Hill House grads that are out here that want to come back and just share. And I can see this Raven to be really a nice way to kind of increase the commitment about the strong Hill House legacy. My mind goes back, Raven, to the football game of 2 years ago where you had the was it the alumni you had the alumni cheerleaders
Yes.
were out there, and it just struck me about we have a legacy. So what's the date again?
December 23rd.
And that's a Saturday.
That's correct.
And from what time?
12 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, and tell us what's going to take place. There are a number of events going on during December, but I've been in New Haven since 1971, and there's been a number of events going on every day in the city. So we're a
Yeah.
vibrant city, and don't feel that we're in competition from one another. On the contrary, I can see it to be people sharing the love. But walk us through some of the activities.
Definitely. And we hope that people partake in our activities and then go off to some of the others. That's why ours is a little bit earlier. We're going to have hot chocolate and eggnog and cookies for the children. We're also going to have music, live music. Our band director is preparing our lovely Hell House marching band as we speak, as well as some other performers and choirs. We're going to have arts and crafts. Our librarian has a whole array of brand new books to be giving away, as well as some raffles. And there's a lot of other goodies that we have coming along. We have a lot of community partners contacting me, interested in just kind of participating and helping out with it. So there's a lot to be
Yeah,
determined.
yeah. But tease us. I mean, it's so exciting just to hear it when you mention the term community partners. As you know, been in New Haven since '71, and more recently as a one of the 30 people on the board of alders. And there are good folks out here trying to make things happen. So let's
Definitely.
give a shout out to some of the partners.
Yeah, Miss Rebecca Moore from the Arts Council, the New Haven Arts Council. I work with her on the SPMT here, and she's always like one of my go-to. She is a Hill House alum, class of 2005. So she's always actively trying to give back to our students and to just us as a faculty. So she is working with some partners as well, some that I'm not aware of, but she's definitely reaching out to
Mhm.
people to get us more supplies and more goodies, giveaways for the kids. So I have to shout her out.
Excellent, excellent. And tell us about the idea, because with your uh uh so when you started 15 years ago, so they had teachers as you were you're in the daycare student class, and then they made you a teacher when you were 5 years old. I mean, you were so how did this idea kind of, because you hear so often about people, for better for worse, in the teaching profession. I mean, let's be frank, just being burned out. Just being
Yeah.
burned out.
Honestly, well, joining the SPMT, I wanted to see change. And I saw that like where Hill House was when I first started and where Hill House is now is just two entirely different places. Obviously you had an entire administrative staff that had been working here for like 20 plus years. So they were acclimated and they made this home. So now it's been a while since we've had a consistent, steady principal over our school, and it definitely shows in the culture and climate, not just within the building, but within our community. And so when I thought of joining the SPMT under the parent and community coordinator position, I wanted to bridge that gap
Hmm.
that was once filled when I
Mhm.
remember some of those past educators worked here, because there's a lot that the community doesn't know uh as far as what's happening inside of Hill House and or our needs even as a school, and vice versa. We don't know what our community necessarily needs outside of the children that come from these different neighborhoods. So we want to open our doors up again and have those talks and have that sense of community to kind of heal and move forward in a positive way.
So tell me more. So was it a dream? Did you just wake up? Is it something you wanted to do last year, and just the threshold of momentum kind of struck you this time? Give me a little bit
Yes,
of the. Mhm.
definitely. I've always wanted to hold an event here to bring in the kids in the community into Hill House. And at first I think I had emailed you and I said I don't think we have enough time to plan something like this year, but it's something I've been thinking about.
Mhm.
But then I said no better time than the present,
Mm.
than to really just let's go for it, let's try it,
Mhm.
and let's see who we can bring together. And I got such a lot of love and a lot of commitment, not just from my, the faculty and staff here. The students are excited even about like volunteering
Mhm. Yeah.
and doing things, but a lot of community members, local businesses are just like, yeah, whatever we can do. So I think now was the best time.
Excellent. 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 Saturday,
Saturday, December 23rd from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m.
and there's obviously everybody plenty of parking. So
Yeah.
just come
Plenty of
come.
street parking. We have a few little lots here as well.
Indeed, indeed. Raven, let's chat just a few seconds about have you been teaching the same kind of uh, English, liberal arts? What's been kind of your academic focus?
So yes, I teach English language arts. So I teach any grade level 9 through 12 over the past 15 years. But primarily the AP Lit and composition, writing seminar courses. And then I got blessed with the journalism course this year. Before it was just a club that we did after school or during advisory.
Hmm.
But now it is a full course. And I have a good group of students learning all about journalism and communications.
Good. Well, as you know, maybe sometime next year we can kind of talk more about how we can kind of integrate them and help to publicize them. That's near and dear to my heart. We've been doing our shows on WNHH 103.5 FM since 2015, but I've been involved with media before that, and it's just so important. Uh, Time wise, is there still time for folks to contribute, to share, to be involved? What's the best way if they might want to kind of reach out and chat with you?
Definitely. We accept any donations, not just monetary. It could be decor, holiday decorations. Also looking for like lights and things like that. You can drop them off at the school between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. Or you can reach out to me at the school. My email, should I leave my email?
If you're comfortable, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, it's Rleigh, RLEIGH, MITCH at gmail.com. And as long as you're local, I can pick them up, or we can arrange drop off times outside of the school day for those decorations or any the gifts. 6
Mhm.
months to 13 years, an unopened, unwrapped gift for a child. We are actively doing a toy drive right now, but if you wanted to drop it off at the school, you can do so.
And also, Raven, you mentioned the librarian and the band. Kind of walk me through the location. Will we be in the gym, at the library, in the field house, with the hallways?
So it would be primarily on the Crescent Street side of the school. So we will be utilizing the gym as well as the cafeteria and the hallways in those wings leading
Mhm.
to the courtyard.
And the library as well, or not really?
No, the librarian is going to be setting up in the cafeteria
Oh,
area.
okay, good, good,
Yeah,
good,
we'll
good.
have tables and stuff set up with crafts, books, and all of that. Goodies.
Excellent, excellent. Raven, tell us how many times have other school systems tried to steal you? I'm gonna be straight and blunt with you.
I wouldn't say too often, but I know each time I've had one of my superiors leave, they've always asked if I wanted to go with.
Cut it
Um,
out.
but no, I've never
Okay,
ventured out. New Haven is
good,
my
good for you. Good for you. And so guess as we kind of conclude a little bit about your background. Which school did you attend some of the public schools here in New Haven?
So I attended all New Haven public schools, not Hill House, but I did go for high school. I went to cooperative arts, and I went to Hill Central for elementary and East Rock for my middle school years.
Excellent. And then
Yeah,
undergrad?
undergrad, Southern, and then continuing my education at Fairfield for
Good.
um,
Yeah. And it's
yes.
just so important and I'm not going to ask you to kind of talk about the crisis about teachers, but um, when you speak to some of the students in your classroom, what do you think? Do you see some of them are interested in teaching? What do they need to know more about the profession, do you think, to encourage them to see it to be, if not comparable, but maybe even better than some of the things that they're thinking about already?
So I don't see as many students as interested in teaching now that I did when I first started. And I think it's because the idea of resilience is lost on a lot of young kids that I'm interacting with. It's easy to kind of give up and do the next thing. And in teaching, that's that's just not a choice. You have to keep going. You're constantly learning, you're constantly changing your techniques and pedagogy when it comes to education. And if you don't have the stamina for that, I think that it can become difficult. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they talk a lot about self-care and, teacher burnout. And self-care isn't as easy, I think, as people make it sound. It's not just taking a day off, because sometimes that causes more anxiety and distress. So you have to go into this profession knowing that you have to find a balance,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes time. It doesn't just come overnight. And then when you think you got it, you get a whole new group of students and a whole new generation and a whole new list of problems that you didn't think you were going to have, 5 years ago. So,
Fascinating, fascinating,
yeah.
fascinating. Holiday at Hill House.
What's that?
Holiday at Hill House.
Yes. Holiday at the house.
Holiday at the House.
Yeah.
Presented by Raven and her production company.
The
Do you
SPN.
hope, as we kind of wind down, Raven, um, it's, I mean, it's a volatile world, of course, but do you hope that this might be, when people say like the first annual, do you think this might be more than just a one-off? Do you hope that?
I'm definitely hoping that this is just the beginning of not just, a holiday event, but more interaction with the community, and bringing us together and creating these moments with our students and with our staff and with our community.
Let's kind of end on that in terms of some possibilities, because we have obviously the basketball games are always popular, and we just finished with the Turkey
Football
Bowl.
season, yeah.
What are some things you think we can improve upon or launch, or because just as you were talking, my mind went again back to the alumni cheerleaders, and then the various fraternities and sororities that are in town, and even in spite of the regime changes, if you will, at the top, there's still some teachers that have been there for a while, and even I mean, your current interim, I mean, she's been in the system for a long time. So there's
Yes,
people
yes.
that have encountered Hill House, that have been nurtured by Hill House. I mean, Althea Norcott, I'm in touch with her email 2 or 3 times a week. I'll send her stuff. When you mentioned Tommy Fleming's name, I mean Jimmy Fleming and the Fleming family. Although
Yeah.
Tommy's deceased, just to kind of just so glad you lifted his name up. Uh, Superintendent Garris lives right around the corner from the school. What can we do is when you look into your crystal ball or could wave your magic wand, what would you like to see? More of alumni club, more booster clubs, more events taking place there at night? What's kind of on your
Definitely. I
dream
mean,
list?
I think my dream is not just showcasing what we have here and the talents, the many different talents of the students, even outside of the athletics. But it's also like we do still have needs. And
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if the community always knows that we have those needs, needs that maybe the district hasn't been able to fulfill or, have gone without being seen. Just some a voice advocacy a lot of
Mm,
times at board meetings and whatnot. You don't have the backing of your community, and that's no one's fault, but we need that as well. So I see that being
mm,
a presence, bringing the community into town meetings within the school when we can offer those, not just what does our school need, but what does our community need,
mm,
and work together to bridge that, but for not just our students, but for the future of our communities. Um, that's where I see it ultimately going. And then obviously being able to provide programs and whatnot for our community members. I would love to see like health and wellness weekends at the
mm,
school, even if, I mean, I see Mr. Bob Davis, who taught here, doing yoga in the parks and at some of the different buildings in New Haven, but like, why not right here within our schools?
mm-hmm,
Even just like cooking 101, we have a wonderful area where we have not just our culinary department, but we have our home economics room where we can do 4 different,
mm,
cooking stations at once. Why can't we do like, healthy eating, something that we can share with not just what's inside of our building from Monday through
mm-hmm.
Friday, but with the support and, help from the community.
Keep going. Two more. Give me two more.
Two
Those are great.
more.
Yeah.
One thing we wanted to hold was we wanted to have a music and poetry night here, showcasing the art and having poets do like a kind of like a slam poetry
Mm-hmm.
type of gig here. Um, that was one of the big things. And then we have a lot of musicians, a lot of talented musicians. We have a little art gallery
Mm-hmm.
in the foyer of our school, but it's like our students never get to showcase that.
Mm,
Um, a lot of the work in my artwork in my classroom, which you can't really see because of the positioning of my camera, but a lot of the artwork is from former students
mm-hmm.
you know, who sell their artwork online. It's we have a
Oh,
lot
fantastic.
of
Yeah.
um rich culture in our in New Haven, and it's housed in this building as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um Even just, I know we have a lot of small businesses, entrepreneurs in the community. Even if we had like the expo centers and the Coliseum used to have those moments where they would bring in all the vendors and people
Mm-hmm.
could come in, and I think that would also be something good to see what our community resources are. Have a day where we have local vendors and community resources come to the building and share that out with the community, with the students, with the parents. Have this warm sense when they come
Mm,
here,
mm,
you know?
mm. Tremendous, tremendous. Well, I'm definitely going to share this because I get so glad we could kind of talk about holiday at the house, but also it's just every day we want to kind of be a vibrant, I would say, if not a resurrection, but a day of inspiration. And again, Hill House is one of our citywide assets. So let's just kind of continue to grow because you can see throughout the city that there are some things happening in a very positive way with the airlines, with downtown development. Yale's going to be here forever, as we know, since
Yeah.
1701. But the historical place for Hill House is still it's not necessarily untapped, but we can still kind of expand it more. This is great. Raven, any kind of concluding thoughts? We have something coming up on Saturday.
Saturday, December 23rd from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And I also just want to mention that hopefully, it's in the works, but next year Hill House is turning
Oh,
165.
please, yeah.
Yes, and we want to be able to celebrate that. So
Mm,
I've been reaching out to alumni on Facebook through different groups, as well as Miss Rebecca Moore has been reaching out as well, because
mhm,
we would love to do something, whether that's just like paying homage, celebrating their own legacies and
mhm,
the legacy that Hill House has left with them. I've been getting mail from alum of their old like school newspapers and
mm,
little
uh-huh.
pamphlets and stuff. So we definitely want to do something with that.
Excellent. Well, certainly in the early spring, we can do a follow-up show and kind of get the word out. So key. And obviously anything I can do to be of support, I'll be there with you. So I should get my nap and wake up on what day again?
December 23rd. That's a
Saturday,
Saturday
12
from
to
12
5,
p.m. to 3 p.m.
12 to 3. And it's a free event.
Absolutely
And,
free.
and any age restrictions? I mean, little toddlers can come or
Toddlers can come. Gifts are from the range of 3 to 6 months up to 12 years.
hmm,
But if you have older children coming that just want to hang out, do the arts and crafts, face painting, get some books. The books are generally young adult literature, so we have something for everyone.
excellent, excellent. Raven, thank you so much. For you to kind of take time to do your busy day. I thought it'd be the end of the day for you, but as you indicated before we went online, you're just halfway through. So
Yeah.
carry on, carry on.
Thank
I
you.
will see you soon, and just so glad to kind of have you share with folks your optimism and reaching out, and reaching out to
Thank
folks.
you.
This is for all of us.
Definitely.
Okay. See you soon, dear.
Thank you. Have a good
Take
day.
care.